Hello, everybody.
Where?
Huh. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. We should be live soon. What's
Okay.
going on?
Hi, buddy.
We're live on Instagram. So, it is just Rocco and I today. Wade said he might be popping in. I was just on the phone with him earlier. Really exciting news for the boys up in New Hampshire area, Massachusetts and shit.
New fire team?
Yeah, but they're doing something really cool. So him and Jeff came up with an idea. They're going to be launching out what's called Operation Second Watch. And it's essentially the model of meetings with like AA or whatever. However, it is for veterans and first responders. And they partnered up with Volunteers of America, Massachusetts. And they are going to be having a group of vets and first responders stuff getting together and hanging out and talking.
Group sex.
That's it. That's it. So here we are. And yeah, I'm super excited about that actually in particular because they're going to be partnering up hopefully with even some VA programs, substance use disorder programs and stuff. And this will be a really good format for how to even get those individuals out in the community without the outside of the confines of the VA.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily bad. Not talking shit on the VA. It's just good to get outside the bureaucracy. What's up, Todd? Good to see you, baby. So yeah, we're super stoked about that. I'm personally very excited about that. And Wade, he has to present it to the board, but Wade might be getting himself a mobile base up in the Massachusetts area. So he just got word from the guy that's selling this vehicle that he's willing to knock off a ton of money to make it insanely affordable.
Very cool.
I can just say what it is. It's actually a camper. Sleeps 12. And he's like, I'd like to host. Wade said he was like, I would like to host like retreats and camping stuff up here
Hell yeah.
in New England area around this. And I was
That's
like,
actually
dude,
pretty dope.
dope.
That's
Dope.
really fucking cool.
Isn't that cool? So there might be a new vehicle added to the mobile base repertoire of Refit, and it'll be up in the Massachusetts area. And yeah.
If we go down there
Mm-hmm.
together,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be on you with that gluten shit because I'm not going to sleep.
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep
I've
in
been
a
so
camper
good
with you.
Yeah, I've been so good though recently. Like no joke, in the past, like I would say 6 months, I got infected like twice or whatever, but I've been very good. So you don't have to worry about that. I've been so good about that.
I've been trapped in a truck with windows. I'm not getting stuck in a camper that we sleep in.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, I get sick with that shit. It's like worse now.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, it's getting worse. But anyway, nonetheless, super excited for Wade and Jeff up there and in the Massachusetts area. And Jeff is really stepping in big time. He's taken over a lot of stuff. He's helping me out managing relationships and everything within the VA actually down here in Delaware. And we actually just got word today that we were just awarded another. We're actually going to be the subrecipient of a grant in Delaware. So it's pretty cool. Thursday waiting room. No sound. Just wanted to say hi. That is all. Love you, Ray. I love you, buddy.
What's up, nerds?
Let me actually type to him. I love Ray. So yeah, man, that's some exciting news right there. We also have the police softball team well underway, and they're traveling. They already had their first tournament. They have another tournament coming up soon. You get their whole schedule on our website and everything like that. Go to Fire Teams and scroll down to see their team. And we're getting jerseys for the local team, and we're still looking for a couple more players. So if you're a veteran or first responder, let us know, and you can join the team and hang out with us. Police, fire, EMT, civilian, doesn't fucking matter. Just come on out. We already have a ton of cops on the team already. So we have a police or we have a fire chief that's going to be on the team too, which is pretty cool. Or former fire chief. I think he actually just left. He's going to a new department, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, so super exciting shit. All things moving along nicely and smoothly.
I would totally join that if
Sunday mornings, 9 a.m.
If the businesses weren't colliding so Heavily.
Yeah. Well, 9 a.m. Sunday mornings. If you want to come on team, you're more than welcome.
No, I've already been at work for
Babies are welcome.
2 hours at that point.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right. Yeah. So how is Claire? How's she doing? Yeah, busy.
Oh, man.
It's a lot. It's tough running a business.
There's a lot of other stuff going on that I'm not going to get into, but
That's
yes,
fine.
it's very tough running a business, and but she's killing it. She's an absolute monster.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I feel the same way about Lisa. She's killing it. She's crushing it. Growing a baby at the same time and shit, you know. Oh my God. I just said that on the live stream. That didn't happen. Nobody just heard that. Can't believe I just said that. Claire, I hope you're not watching because I was supposed to tell you in person and I really wanted to. Please forgive me. I hope she's not here. She's not here. She would have commented by now. That would
No, there's a delay.
30-second delay. I'm just talking nervously now. Ah! Shh. Nobody say anything. Don't say anything.
If she's here, I can't go home.
Oh no. When are we doing that? When are we getting together so I can tell her?
You might have to come home with me
Now. Yeah. She didn't see it though. She didn't see it. Nothing's there. It's already
Somebody's
passed.
the fuck in here.
Mhm.
I don't know who it is.
It's already passed. It's already passed. Woo. So anyway, thankfully, it's very few people watching today right now. But also we need to start launching these things out onto all of our podcasts. And so we have so many episodes to launch. So it's okay. She's not here. You're good. It's all clear. Dude, I forgot. I'm gonna tell you something actually real quick. I was with Chris the other day, and there was a guy that was with us. We're playing golf. It was our first outing for the spring or whatever. And and the guy was talking or whatever, and I just told him, and Chris is like, "So you're gonna tell him before you tell me?" I was like, "I didn't tell you. I really thought I just did it with my boy yesterday. I just dropped it in a text. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "I thought I told you." Because I set this day where I invited a bunch of people out, and I just forgot that some people didn't, quite a few people didn't show up to it. It was only a couple of guys that did, and I was able to tell them, and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah. So I just forget. It's my brain, dude. I forget stuff all the time. Just forget. He forgave me, thankfully. He knows how my brain is. He was very forgiving. He's like, dude, I get it. He's like, I know your memory.
It's fucking out there now. If they go back and rewatch this shit, they're gonna get some fucking.
She doesn't. Claire's not gonna rewatch this. No way. Nope. Putting it out there. So anyway, so I've actually also been having some just to get into the topic of like mental health and kind of a little bit less on refit. I've been having like an incredible amount of motivation to start writing a book to defend what is deemed now as wrong in terms of how to communicate with people in term when they're going through life and like what they're able to withstand and things like that. I'll give you a perfect example. It is the concept of what you're seeing is not natural. That's a very common thing. So like dead bodies, if you're an EMT or if you're in combat and you're taking someone's life and you're killing, or if you see dead bodies, or you have to clean them up and tag them, things like that. How that's not normal. I used to say that for like a year and a half. I was like, yeah, it's not normal. I used to say, no, it is normal. What is, and I have a whole argument and thought around this, and it's that nature, if you look at nature, what happens all the time? It's natural.
It's literal murder.
Murder's unnatural.
But no, there's murder in nature.
Well, there is murder in nature too.
By the bushel.
Yeah. Well, unmoral, I guess I should say. That's the morals and values around it. Because murder that's unnatural or sure. Not moral. Like that's not right. But if you are acting in a way that, hi Claire.
Hey.
What's up, Claire? Good to see you. So I had fuck. How you doing, Claire? Good to see you, girl.
Hey.
By the way, we're talking about how proud we are of you and everything. So you're killing it. Super proud of you. Um, but anyway, so what I did instead is I really started thinking about this concept of like this unnatural thing that people say that to kids all the time, and like, how hard or how it's okay to feel down and like stay there and like be comfortable and like you don't want to like push the envelope too much. And then I see videos of like one video I just saw recently of a guy who had his big fucking ruck pack on, he's going and he collapsed, and the drill instructors and the guys around him didn't fucking go like, "Oh, are you okay?" They literally said, "Get up, let's go, push, push." Encouraged him to go through the pain, encouraged him to drive, encouraged him to move things forward, right? Like that was, to me, that's what needs to come back. And I feel like that's what we do at Refit. We encourage you. We tell you you can do better. You can move forward. You can absolutely take control of your life. Like
Yeah.
you need to. It's a no-brainer for sure. But I think the narrative that is too often pushed right now, not everyone, but too often pushed, I think on a wide scale, is a weak narrative that basically tells people they are not capable and that they cannot withstand certain things. So when we went to the EMTs, for example, that we talked to them a couple weeks ago, we're around 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, some as old as like 27 or whatever, but who's been in it for years. And like they see really tough things. They go through really tough things. They're saving people's lives. They see dead bodies in the streets, things like that. And then the narrative started to come into that what you see is unnatural, blah, blah. I literally cut it off and I was like, hold up. I just want to say something real quick. What you're going to see is natural. Death happens, right? You guys are showing up on the day that someone's dying. That is going to be your everyday. That's what you're choosing this profession.
Yeah.
And that's an honorable thing that you're doing. And you getting the ability to help others, to push others. Or I'm sorry, I read push on his comment.
I'm glad you said that, because that's, as soon as you were done, I was going to bring that up.
Yep. I do love the example of the gym. I really do. And gym culture, I do like a healthy gym culture. I love. Anyway, so with the kids, I was saying to them, and by the way, you guys are way more capable, way stronger than what you even could imagine. And just think for a second where we came from, who our ancestors are.
Yeah.
Our ancestors built this nation. Our ancestors even survived the wild. Our ancestors survived wars. They survived childbirth with no morphine, nothing. Like, they survived the toughest things that life can throw at them. So can we. And you guys are stepping into an honorable profession where you're going to be the ones to be the sometimes even the what did I say? I don't want to say angels, but something along those lines, of like, you guys are the light in the darkness for a lot of these people, and that's an honorable thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's going to be difficult, but how you handle it is, how do you take care of yourself? What are you reading? What stories are you telling to each other? How positive or not positive are you being? Are you checking each other? Things like that. Like, that is incredibly, incredibly important, dude. So, and that is cool, Ray. Genuinely. I don't know if you're joking, because you are a funny guy. But the fact that he survived meth is pretty cool. And your dad surviving that and like getting through it and everything I do have a lot of respect for people who get sober and clean and stay it, because it's like, that's got to be so difficult to do. And Todd over here brought up, you're doing exactly what we do in the gym. Push past what you think you can do, and you will amaze yourself on what you can accomplish. The hands and feet of God, not being too religious. Yeah, like, you're just pushing yourself.
Spotter mentality goes so much further than the gym if you can keep that practice in your life. So the role of a spotter is not only to keep you safe, right? But it's to motivate you, and that kind of like that adrenaline, that belief that they put, that self-belief that they instill in you, the obliteration of self-doubt gets those extra couple reps in. And I think if you get the gym totally out of it and just, you push that into something like Project Refit and
your self-growth.
Yes, into the growth that you can instill on other people, not your self-growth, but to be able to put that into others that way. to be able to motivate them, to be able to relinquish all their self-doubt, to be able to show them that they can do it, and to be that motivating, just like in the gym. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because everything that he was saying, I'm like, that's like a gym spotter.
That's right. That's exactly right. And to grow, you must push past what you think you're capable of. That's right, Todd. I mean, like, and I
What
think
growth
that's
is, yep.
something. I think that's something that we're getting away from. I really don't like how it's almost like people now take on what they struggle with or whatever their mental health thing is. It becomes like these weird tribal connections. Like, oh, I have ADHD, so I can't do this or that or this. And they tell themselves immediately they can't do something. Like, I have to find a way to be comfortable with this. And like, these are my limits. It's like, no, no, no. That's just something that you have that you have to learn how to deal with to push past it. Like you have to be more than that, right? Like you can't beat yourself up. Like if when I leave, for example, this is kind of embarrassing. I'll give two things very embarrassing. One's less, one's super. But it's being honest and open about it, because it's important to know that I also have like weird struggles, whatever, but I don't let it fucking hold me back. So I with my like forgetfulness and things like that I have, and things that I struggle with, the like I'll be cooking, I'll be cooking dinner, I'll be baking like chicken or whatever. And then I literally just forget that I'm doing that. And it'll be like this fucking black hockey puck. And Lisa will come home and she'll be like, "Oh, you're cooking." Right. And I'm like, "Oh shit." And I'm up here. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." I'm running downstairs, and I have to open it up, and it's this fucking black hockey puck of a chicken. I'm like, "I'm sorry. I was trying to cook for you when you got home, for myself, so we could eat dinner together." She's like, "It's okay." And and then the other one too is like sometimes when I get super stressed out, and like I have so many things on my plate, and like I have to do paperwork and all this stuff is going on, blah 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 blah. Like I get so like amped up, and I can't touch certain fabrics and things like that. I have like weird like sensory shit or whatever. And like if I get super stressed out, I literally take off my shirts. I am just no shirt and I'm doing paperwork. Like sometimes when people call me and I'm like, I'm doing paperwork, and if you call me, I'm like, "Hey man, I gotta go. I'm doing paperwork." Just my shirt's off, and I'm insanely stressed out, and like I can't because I can't feel the. It's just but I don't. I give myself grace when I burn the chicken or I have to take my shirt off, and it's weird. Like it's just things that I deal with and I just push forward with. You know what I mean? I get the job done anyway.
There's not many things in life I wish upon my wife. Hey, buddy. But I wish that one upon my wife.
What's that?
For her to get so stressed out that she takes
Her shirt off. Oh my God. That's funny. Lisa actually, was funny. She came home one time and she was downstairs and I was doing paperwork. I'm like stressed out or whatever. And I come downstairs. She's like, "Oh, you're doing paperwork?" Because my shirt's. I'm like, "Yeah, I am. I'm doing paperwork."
At least it's just a shirt. You're in your own house.
Yeah, I know.
That's not embarrassing.
But well,
that's a comfort thing.
I guess so. But it's weird. And I know it's weird, but it's just I don't.
Weird.
But these things, I don't let them define me. And I think we're especially for kids.
Hold the fuck up.
Like we're like weakening this society in general. I really do think that.
Weird though.
What, the shirt off thing?
Yes.
I don't know. I think that's weird.
It's not fucking weird. It's a comfort thing. You are stressed out. You are getting comfortable. You are making yourself comfortable to do whatever this shit is that's stressing you out.
Yeah.
That's how you're in your own fucking place.
Yeah.
I know people that get naked to shit.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You take your shirt off to do paperwork. That's not weird.
Oh, so I do paperwork with a puppy and kids constantly pulling my attention off a task. I won't take my shirt off, but I'll rip my hair out.
All right. We wait till they go to sleep for you to do your paperwork then.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely difficult. And anyway, but like that's just stuff that I feel like the narratives too often are weakening the human condition. And I think that humans in general are way stronger and more capable than what we promote and put out. I really think it's a robbery. And I don't
Well,
I
yeah,
don't like it.
yeah. I mean, where we live in a time when you're more popular based off of how long your diagnosis sheet is.
It's crazy.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
and you mentioned how,
it's
you know,
crazy.
back in the day, people had to bear children without
Mm,
medicine and all
yeah.
this other rugged shit, and they didn't have that.
Yeah.
They didn't have these diagnoses and shit, and they just
I think
they were
we
people.
Yeah, I feel like we are. I called it the and I learned I'm not the first person to call the DSM-5 this. I was just educated on that by this guy Alex, and he actually gave me a book to read. He's like, "Have you ever read oh my god, I forget the name of the book.
Present.
Um the Four Agreements?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "You should read that." So when I was listening to Four Agreements, inside of the book, they actually talk about the idea and concept of the DSM-5 being a new witches book, like casting spells. Because that's what I was referring to it for a very long time. Like it's like we're casting spells on people and they just believe it because people, humans are so impressionable. We imprint things on a person's mind, and it's so important to. That's why parents are so important, and how you talk to your children is so critical. They're going to believe what they're told. Like I was told the story, the narrative I was told since I was born. And I actually own this and I love this. The narrative was that I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck and I had black feet and because I had no oxygen and I was actually dead essentially, but I was fighting for life. And I came out fighting. So I came out a fighter and I hold that and I never quit because I remember I was born dead and I'm supposed to be doing more, right? Like that is such a powerful narrative that I have inside of my heart and in my soul. And I just want other people to believe in themselves and the fact that they also can do that,
Yeah.
that they also can fight. We're all fighters. And it's just such the complaining, the victimhood, all of those things. I find it to be a robbery and I find it to be pure evil, actually.
Yeah.
Hate it. I hate it. Cannot stand it. Actually, and I can't stand it. Not in a shitty way. What to define that better? I personally can't stand it. Meaning, I believe so much in people and others, and I believe you can do better and be more
Yeah, the robbery thing that you said, that it's the victimhood is literally robbery. Uh,
of someone's soul.
well, I I I have a saying, right, and I wasted it on somebody um that
Never a waste, brother.
that wasn't worth. Yeah, okay, we don't like that person anymore, but
I understand. I understand.
um people are limitless, right?
Yeah.
And that can apply to many things, right? But in this case, it's definitely the mind. But I believe in people. People can be limitless in potential, can be limitless in their minds, can be limitless in selflessness, can be limitless countless ways, limitless ways,
Yeah.
right? And if they have a victim mentality, they are just suffocating themselves and stopping that. They're putting a limit on what they can produce out into the world.
Yes.
And like that fucking sucks, because if millions of people are doing that, then there's millions of limited people not giving,
That's right.
not producing what people are capable of out into the world. And that sucks.
It sucks so much. And it's, you can go as far as saying like it weakens a nation, right? And not just from the idea of GDP and production, things like that, which is also, what creates safety for a nation, but also just all the way down to the individual, him or herself. And I, when I see a guy, for example, we just had a dude out on a retreat with us who, he said the narrative of like, I want to go back to who I was. And I was like, well, how old were you when you joined? And he was like, I was 17. I was like, do you really want to go back to be 17 again? He's like, well, fuck no. And I was like, right. I was like, dude, he has a hardened face of a warrior. He has the look of one. He has the look of a man who's seen shit, been through shit, done shit. And that is such a, and I said it to him. I was like, dude, that is what you are. That is who you are. And that's a great thing. You know people, you know the side that you had to use to survive war that can also be used on the other hand of how to show love to others. Right. And like you can use that same energy in a new way. And you must release it. It's actually, I think that's the allegory or the metaphor of the ring in Lord of the Rings. Like it's that hate that you need to release so you can free yourself. And J.R. Tolkien wrote that whole book basically when he was in the trenches, or like developed the plan for it when he was in the trenches of war, because it's like that is who you are at the end of the day. You are the Frodo who might have the scar, but you are able to move forward.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. What's up, Wade?
What's up, Wade? If you want to join in, dude, it's always the same link. I'm not going to resend it to you. Damn it. I might. Do you want it? I can send it to you. But it's
Talk about a man that folds in the presence of beauty.
You know, actually talk about a man that would be a really good add to this conversation. Wade is definitely it. Wade and I have had this. I was having these kind of conversations with Wade when he was in his really, really dark place, even. And he was able to fight through. And Wade now is just who is actually the person that personally I saw. But I'm not saying that to take credit, because there's no credit to be taken. It's just so awesome to see him becoming who we all know who he is, and genuinely one of the most fucking stoic human beings on planet Earth. And I love Wade. So let's get him in here. He actually he said yes, he would be willing to join. I'm going to send it to you through Facebook. Let me get in here. There we go. So yeah, there's something about the narratives and concepts of like just the robbery of potential. And when I see young, especially young people now, and I see some dudes like at the gym, for example, like who I love seeing a young dude at the gym getting it in, bro, and like working out hard and like doing it. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, like get after it. Like you are one of the few, and keep on going. But then I think about the people even who, before I say that, let's read what Claire said here. She said, you can either soak yourself in the misery of what was or learn from it and want better. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. We all have to learn to move forward. All of us. And we're all capable of that. No matter what you've seen, what you've been through, you do not have to be a victim to your past. You must learn to let it go. That is what resilience is. That is what life is. Life is hard. Things happen. Stress happens. You must move forward. It is critical. Always forward. So let's Wade in here. But what's up, Wade? We absolutely need to learn that aspect, just to get back to it, that aspect of life that, yes, it is challenging. Yes, it is hard, but like we as people are way more capable, especially the younger guys, like the younger population. And when I say guys, I mean men and women, but there's just a narrative that is robbing these young people from being stuck as kids forever almost. And our founding fathers were like early 20s.
Yeah, they were young.
Like I look at photos of loggers and things like that. These guys back in the day, they were all like 20-something-year-olds who looked like they were 40. They were men, like we built this shit, all the roads and the buildings and the communities and the safety that we live in. A lot of men did that, and with the support absolutely of women, like as strong women, so it's tough, man. It's tough to hear all that, to the narrative that's being pushed and like keeping people comfortable and not pushing them too far. But there's also, because that's that professional boundary, and I do understand that, but that's why community is so important, and getting yourself around people who are healthy and have a good community. So, and have a good narrative. So yeah, man. What's up, Wade? Good to see you, brother.
What's up, dude?
How you
John?
feeling, bro?
I'm all right. I feel better better than yesterday. I took yesterday off the gym, so I feel all right. I give it like a 6 out of 10. You know, I'm not hungover, so
Right,
that's a 10
exactly.
out
There's
of 10.
no hangovers at least.
But this is what we're praising
Yeah,
in 2025.
I can't, dude. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand that shit. The making, oh my God. Anyway, so Wade, we brought up your Massachusetts mission of Operation Second Chance, is it?
Second watch.
Watch. That's right. Operation Second Watch. And how that's going to be something we really believe that will be a template for ways that we can work with other substance use, disorder units and things like that to bring veterans and first responders together in outside of the confines of a bureaucratic measure and really just about community and bringing people in. So if you wanted to talk on that, brother, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So the idea was definitely Jeff's, Johnny Cash's, but I mean, he ran it by me, right? And I was like, traffic is terrible. So I used to go to this VA group in Idaho when I lived there, and it wasn't following a 12-step program. It was really just a bunch of vets coming in and just, lack of a better term, bitching about life, and other people being supportive of their struggle and how to get through it. Because when you get away from this feeling that you're fucking special, because nobody's special, like
That's right.
that's an isolating feeling, telling yourself that your struggle is special, your struggle is unique. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and I got news for you if you think you're special. You're not. And I was so in my head that I didn't want to go to 12-step programs because I felt that I was so different than everybody in the 12-step meeting because I had been to war. I had seen things, committed atrocities, however you want to view it, say it, that there was nobody in that room that I could identify with because me, I was my own individual monster, and I felt that my struggle was almost prestigious, I would say. It's like, oh, yeah, I sacrificed for my country. Oh, woe is me. But look, that feeling of telling yourself that you're a vet, that you did these things, you killed people, you saw people die, and so you don't need to be at a 12-step meeting, that's fine, man. Like, it is 100% fine. But to do all that stuff, tell yourself all these things and not be around like-minded individuals to talk you out of the darkness is just insanity. It's straight insanity. And then, you're trying to battle these thoughts in your mind at the same time that you're trying to kick a substance. And I'll tell you what, man, alcohol is very fucking effective at just wiping your mind for a little bit. And when you can't deal with your thoughts sober, you're definitely not going to fucking deal with them drunk. You're not going to progress. You're going to regress, if anything. And you're going to stay stuck, if not going completely backwards. And so the premise behind this was I had got the sense of community going to this veterans group that wasn't 12-step. It was literally just a bunch of people talking about life. And I felt so welcomed in that group. And it was the beginning step. It was the first step for me, no pun intended on the 12 steps, but it was the beginning step for me in realizing that my struggle was not unique or special, that civilians can relate to because trauma is trauma. And it forwarded me to open up my community even more to civilians, like my sober, my clean community up even more. But I'm not even saying that's what we're trying to do. Dude, we're doing this shit on a Friday night. We all know the weekend is the most dangerous fucking time to be alone in your thoughts. So look, man, come out, make some fucking friends, and maybe we'll do something for the weekend. I mean, I'll be at the gym. If you want to go, that's cool. But it's all about just building community. I think the 12 steps are important. I do. I think they work. I stand by that. However, there's a million paths to recovery. If you want to come in our group and tell me hugging trees is what keeps you clean and sober, dude, I'm not going to tell you you're fucking wrong. I'm not going to tell you you're going to die. I'm not going to bash you because your ideals of what gets you clean and sober are different than mine. I just want you to come in so I could hear your ideals. That's it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I love that. I love that too, because you know what I'm most excited about is, we are going the very narrative that you and I are personally really trying to push the refit here of like, you are stronger than what you know, and you are more capable than what you know, is one that I find to be the most attractive. This really gives us the platform by which to spread that message, and now it's you that's going to be able to do that up in your area as well right now in Massachusetts. And you have a great guy, Jeff, who's going to be, helping you out and leading that way too. And it is his idea to get this thing going. I want to make sure that he gets the credit where credit's due. But also the again, going back to it, that's why I was so excited about hearing about this. Like, oh yes, the narrative that you and I are trying to push is absolutely going to be supported and just driven home to people, right? Like, we have so much more to live for. You are so much more capable. And by the way, if this makes you think that I'm telling you you're going to be the next president of the United States, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about, and neither you could, right? Whatever, sure, why not? But that's not what Wade and I are saying. Genuinely, what we're saying is you can be better for your families. You can be better in your life. You can have a better job. You can do better at your job. You can wake up earlier in the morning. You can focus your energy that you focus on other tasks, or other things like negative things like drinking too much or drinking in general or taking drugs or whatever your vice is. You can focus that energy somewhere else if you really want to, especially if you have the right community around you. And that's what I'm super stoked about for this. I am very excited that you guys are launching out this Operation Second Watch, 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good, man. Because I just remember, whatever. Full transparency. I've relapsed a few times. Like throughout whatever. I guess I don't know. I've been drinking a long time, so you could probably hundreds of times I've relapsed. And went back into drinking. But like, man, when I tried to battle this fucking thing on my own, I did far worse than when I ever included somebody in the struggle. Like James,
Uh-huh.
this. You know this yourself, bro. Like, you were on the phone with me. Well, kind of with me. I was not all there, but you were on the phone when I was fucking trying to get into the hospital. You know what I mean? Like, without you on the other side of that phone, I would have been fucked, bro. They were just gonna leave me in the car. That is
Yep.
that is not even metaphorical. It is a literal instance of what it's like if you struggle with somebody and if you struggle alone. If I was alone in my struggle, they would have kept me in that fucking Uber and probably dumped me on the side of the road.
Yep.
Literally. Yep. That is a strong example of community and support. I have to say. And and like what Raul said, by the way, Raul, I love you, buddy. Um, he said that he agrees with that. No one's special. He said, but most importantly, you're not alone, and that community is the real medicine, and that's real, dude. It's true.
Yep.
That is it. That is it's, but it's not just community is the real medicine. I feel like real community is medicine. Like people who want to see you be better and live better.
Community
Uh,
with the spotter mentality.
yeah, man. Like that is so critical. Like it, that's the culture of drinking heavily and, getting hammered and like, partying all the time. Like, how is that healthy? How is that conducive for any kind of growth? And it's not that, and even saying that's very judgy and shitty in the way that I just said that, I just, there has to be a limit and a focus, I don't know, man. I feel like it's taking away from the potential of so many people. There's a reason why spirits, like hard alcohol, is called spirit. It's taking your spirit. Like you're drinking it away. The old Irish saying of, the man takes the drink, but eventually the drink takes the man. Like that's, I mean, that's real, dude. Like it does, and it can. Um, with anything, any drug. I don't care what it is. Shrooms, weed, all of it. Any drugs. Like if you're abusing it, it'll take you, you know?
Yeah. I also think there's a sense of lost time and lost purpose and understanding that the effort and time you put into drinking with your buddies, you could have been building something, whether that be a business, an idea, yourself, a mindset. Like while you're drinking, and I think this is the case for like 95% of the people. Not that I'm knocking drinking, because I do. I mean, at one point in time, I enjoyed it, but what I'm saying is, I like reflect, bro, on how much time I lost and how much I could have right now if I didn't fucking wrap my mind around the only thing I have to look forward to is social drinking. That's fucking crazy. It's a crazy concept. I used to be like, fuck yeah, Friday I'm gonna go fucking hang out with the boys. I never once fucking said, fuck yeah, Friday me and the boys are gonna go fucking figure out how to make $1 million or get this company going. You know what I mean? It's just, it's, well, what are you doing with your time, man? You're not being proactive, productive when you're fucking hammered. Far too few people fucking are, unless you're like Edgar Allan Poe or somebody.
Right.
He was hammered a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it is a challenge. And I just, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I was talking about how the belief that I have in the human condition, of human beings. I just look at humanity when I read, about where we once were and who we once were, and how strong people were, and how strong their mentalities were. And it's just, and I know that struggle was there. Let's not, promote that, it was so much better back. No, there was obviously issues and problems and abuse and murder and killing and stealing, and that's never changed. It's still here. But there was at least this concept of, you can make it through and you can survive, like it's just, you can do better. You can do whatever. There's no better time to be alive than now. I genuinely believe in history, to be stronger and create something special. There's no better time. And I wish we would notice that, but it's hard because our species, we suffer from amnesia and we forget, and we don't learn from our elders enough, especially in our American culture. I feel like we don't look at our elders enough for asking them questions, not even necessarily just advice, because some of the advice they might give is not necessarily the best, but learn from them anyway. Keep your mind open. You don't have to agree with everything people say to you. I get advice from people all the time. It doesn't mean I have to buy it, like,
or take it,
right. Like you just listen and you can learn so much, I don't know.
I think
We have to humble ourselves.
I think that part of the human condition is that we flourish in the struggle. Like, think about every major invention that ever came about. It was to overcome some sort of struggle or problem, whether it be weather, transportation. Dude, we are fucking beasts when it comes to overcoming struggles. Whether it be like socioeconomic, whatever it is, dude, we're fucking monsters. But here's the problem: is that we have, and people can hate me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. We got TikToks out there, we got Reels, we got all this shit telling you how to fucking fix your struggle. You don't need to struggle this way, blah blah blah, making the struggle look fucking terrible, making it look bad. But look, man, you got to embrace the fucking struggle, get the fucking strength, and get the fuck over it. Struggle is good. It's not bad. It's not. Like, if you I want you to like genuinely think about it. Struggle sucks. I'm not saying it's fucking comfortable, but I am saying because of every struggle in a man's or woman's life, they can come out better. There is no, I'm not going to come out better of this. You're not going to come out better because you're making a decision to let that struggle define you.
Exactly fucking right. Exactly fucking right. It comes down to the power of the decision. If you decide you are stuck and you are going to be there forever, guess what? You are. But if you decide that you can get through it and you can make the decision instantly, that's the thing that's a lie. People say, oh, it takes a long time. I have to be soft and move. No, you can make the decision right the fuck now. Now, the struggle will be hard. The consistency will be hard, but that's where the community comes in. Who are you talking to? What are you reading? What are you listening to? Check yourself, right? Check the words that are going into your brain and narrative you're telling yourself. We are We are literate creatures. That is the only thing that separates us from all animals. We take in words. We speak words. Words are powerful. If you allow negative words to come into, if you allow fear to come into your body, into your mind, you will embody it and become it. That's something that absolutely is bullshit. If you are taking in positive things, you'll be more positive. It sounds cliche, it sounds kitschy, it sounds bullshitty. It's not. You are a literate creature, and that's why. That's the only thing that separates us from all other creatures on this planet Earth. All creatures care about their young, they care about their tribe, they care about moving their species forward. They want to procreate so that they can continue the animal line, right? That's what it's all about. But the thing that separates us and the thing that kills us from everything else, and the thing that allows us the opportunities, by the way, to overcome struggles and change is the words that we put into our body, the narratives that we believe about ourselves. That's why, again, I'm so grateful for my parents to instill the narrative in me. I was born dead and I fought and I'm a fighter. And I have a purpose to be here. It doesn't make me special. It just means I have something I have to do. And that's why I fight for it every day. And I want other people to believe in that themselves. That narrative is so powerful and strong. And I'm grateful again to my parents for giving that to me. It is the greatest gift they've ever been able to give to me. And the greatest support. So that's the kind of thing I want to push onto others is like, you are also fighters. That's why I also love a guy like you. You've done this shit. You fought, you've survived, you've been through it. And like you understand that you can take that energy and push it towards greatness, right? Like whatever that greatness is, being a great father, being a great husband, being better in the gym, developing the body. It's all able to happen. You just got to get rid of the negative shit.
You gotta
I mean,
if you're gonna embrace the struggle, which you definitely should, and you're gonna get on it now, and the importance of community. The flip side of that is you gotta look at the community that you are surrounding yourself with as well.
Exactly right.
The change of the community that's around you already is going to be very important. The people that are going to enable you to continue to be what you don't want to be anymore. That's going to have to change too, and you're going to have to make some tough decisions to weed out that type of community and surround yourself with the type of community that's going to be your spotter in the gym. That's going to motivate you to want to continue on the path to be better. That's going to want to keep you safe and keep you motivated and remove your self-doubt and to help you with that struggle instead of saying, hey, let's, what are you doing on Friday night? Let's go out to the bar. So, while community is a powerful tool, it can also hurt you. So you just have to surround yourself with the right community.
100%. Because the community, to encapsulate that, the community has the words that they're pushing towards you that you are buying into. The narratives, like, hey, let's go to the bar. Those are words that'll drive you to the bar, or hey, let's go to the gym. Let's go hang out. Let's go talk. Let's go work out. That's a different narrative. That's a different motivation. It's a different community with different words and beliefs, right? Like that's what it comes down to. What and who are you surrounding yourself with?
yeah, I think people are so quick that they forget, right? The same people that forget that they are the people that they surround themselves with, right? By that I mean, if I hang out with thieves, I'm probably going to steal eventually, right?
Birds flock a feather.
But people are like, oh yeah, my friends are losers, but I'm not, right? But those are the same people that said, I don't know how to fucking be a parent because my parents never taught me. It's like, well, look, man, you know what wrong looks like, and sometimes that's just as powerful as knowing what right looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I built myself to be a man, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, like I talk to people all the time. I'm like, look, you may not have gotten a gift, but there's a gift in the curse, man. It's like you know what
Yes.
the wrong thing looks like, and now you make a choice every day, which is, I think, even more impactful to be like, I don't want to become this. I don't want to become this. So when you start becoming that, and you look the other way, you're twice as fucking guilty because you knew and you're not naive.
That's exactly right. That's why I cannot stand another narrative that seems to become so popular now where people blame their parents and their past and they call it generational curses and shit. Like, no. you are also buying into it. You are the one that is like buying into all of this. You can change it. If you think it's wrong, guess what? You can change it by doing the opposite. Like, it's not a generational curse. Is it hard? Is it difficult? Yes, but you can absolutely get through it. You can change it. You can be different. You have the perfect playbook in what was wrong. Now you can choose what is right. Right? There's too many excuses and scapegoats that are given to people, I feel like, now with a lot of these narratives that are being pushed. And that's something. So this video, if we put it out and like we clip that, me saying that, and we put it on the, people are gonna flip it like, oh, this guy's an asshole, he doesn't that's the exact opposite, dude. I'm telling you that I believe in you. I think you're better than what you're saying. I think you're more capable. That's what I'm saying. Right? Like, it's don't be a prisoner
Oh,
to
Pat,
the
I like
past and to
that.
the narratives, right? What did Pat say here?
I love that.
Go ahead, read it.
Pat said those who need to get out of the those also need to get out of the victim mindset. If they go around constantly saying, why me, why now, why him or her, why did I do, what did I do to deserve this? They're going to constantly be in that depressive mind state. Take these hard times, dig deep, and really focus on yourself, and take these hard times as lessons learned and grow from them. The hardest step of getting better is the first step into the right direction. If you sit in the middle of gunfire, you're bound to get hit. The same goes for negative thinking. The more you do, the worse it'll get.
That's right, dude. Holy shit.
I love that.
I love that too. And you know, I want to say something too. He said, focus on yourself. When I hear people say that, I want to push this also as a reminder. Focusing on yourself does not mean setting boundaries and cutting everybody out of your life. What that means is you're looking to improve yourself to be the better person, maybe in someone else's life. So you're actually do it by focusing on yourself. It's not selfish. Don't be selfish in doing that. Be selfless in doing that. You are improving yourself to be better for others around you. That is a selfless act. That is a part of producing. That's a part of being better for the community around you, your family, most important, and also your friends that you consider family, right? Like, that is a selfless act. It is not selfish. This idea and concept of like, oh, I'm going to be selfish and just focus on me for a while. No, 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 no. That's vindictive. That's hateful. That's not right. You are doing it to be better for others around you, so you can pass on to others how you got through it, right? Like, that is the focus. It's always being better so you can be better for those around you. 100%. That's selfish. Should never be tricked into being a positive. It's not. That is gaslighting yourself. That is lying to yourself. You absolutely are doing things to improve yourself to be better for those around you. That's why you're doing it.
And if you love those people, you don't have to cut them out. Bring them with you.
Right. That's what I'm
Bring
saying.
them
Yeah.
with you on that
Exactly
path
right.
to getting better.
Yep.
You know, and if they refuse, then you know you got to do what you got to do. But
Dude, yeah.
you have to, if you love them, bring them the fuck with you.
Yeah, 100%. I like the boundary thing. Like, I think that's another concept that's being way blown out of proportion. People, when they say cutting, I'm putting up boundaries. No, you're cutting people out of your life. You're not like learning how to work with your family or learning to work with your friends and work with people, like, and learning how to communicate with them. You're actually just choosing an easy way out, and you're isolating yourself entirely from others. Like, I'm putting up my boundary on my family, which a lot of people are removing them, right? Removing them. So, like,
Sometimes
yeah, well, all right,
there's
we
a
can
limit
get
to
into
this.
that. There's definitely a limit, but there's, okay, for my own family, I had struggles with my father for years. A lot of people would have just cut him out of their lives. I'm like, yo, dad, let's work on this shit. Let's face it. Let's actually work on each other, learn how to communicate with each other and do this, right? And let's learn about topics that are heated, and let's learn about topics that are good for us to speak about. And if the heated topic is something that we can work through, let's figure that out together. I think too many people are running away from their families and destroying their families and isolating themselves entirely for absolutely the smallest things.
Sure.
En masse. Now, are there scenarios where maybe the loved one was a predator and they came at you? Yes, you cut that person out of your life, those kind of things. Absolutely. Maybe the person is abusive, consistently abusive to you. Yes, those are the type of people that you should be removing and should be trying to find a way to move better and move past, right? Those are cherry picked scenarios that I think absolutely are okay for that. But forgiveness is a pathway to inner peace, and you have to learn to forgive people, and you have to learn to work with people, because no one is fucking perfect. And I really think that the boundary setting thing is taken and blown way out of proportion.
No, I agree with you.
Way out of
I
proportion.
just think boundaries are important to have. They're not boundaries, they're standards. They're standards for yourself
I
and for
like
your
that.
household.
Yes.
Right. And
100%.
if your standards aren't met, then hey, you're out. Right. When, like, I keep saying this excuse, this example, I've said it in probably 4 episodes already. When I came home, I did not want to be the person that I was pre-military.
Yep,
Right. So
yep.
when I came home, I saw 75% of my friends already gone. Didn't give a shit about me when I came home, and they removed themselves from my life already. And then I just slowly but surely was like, you were a part of this life that I don't want to see anymore. Drugs, fucking theft, slothfulness,
Mhm.
all of this other shit, fights, whatever the case may be. I'm setting standards. I have a wife, I have a child now. I set standards for my household that I'm going to follow for the better of my house.
Yep.
Now, these boundaries, I agree with you to a certain extent. Now, boundaries can be standards. I think they can be one and the same. But yes, boundaries have been blown up way out of proportion. It's the same thing as feelings these days, right? You got to tread lightly so you don't hurt people's fucking feelings, which can be a true statement, but it can also get blown out of proportion, right?
Way out of proportion.
So, with boundaries, I don't want drugs in my household.
Right.
That's a good boundary.
It's a great boundary.
It can bring, police and unwanted attention to my house, yada, 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 whatever.
Yep.
Bad boundaries, like, I don't want any arguing around my children when they come when you come in, or
It's actually interesting. Hang on. I'm going to say I like that, by the way. I love that, because robbing your kids of learning how to, especially if you argue appropriately, like if you learn how to, like if you argue, arguments are going to happen. And learning how to navigate difficult conversations is a great thing for your kids to witness, especially if like you keep calm, you
if you're good
respect
at
the
them.
love. Exactly. And that's yeah, exactly. And if you feel like you're like blowing up and screaming and like belittling the other person, you got to check yourself. You got to think, do you want your kid to be like that? And
Yeah.
Your kid to, like that is, it's a good learning experience, honestly, for everyone involved. And it's something that I do wish more people recognized the importance of learning how to argue and learning how to communicate.
Experiences from children, like they're so protected these days.
Yeah.
Like they're being sheltered so heavily.
Yep.
Like one of my favorite sayings for parenthood is, if you never let anything happen to them, nothing will ever happen to them.
Right.
And it's like, that's 100% the truth. Like, you're like, oh, they're fucking they're walking this high thing, you got to go stand next to them. No, they're gonna fall off. Figure it out. They're not gonna break anything. They're just gonna fall
even
off.
if they do break
and
something,
get a boo-boo.
we'll take them to the hospital.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna shelter them. Me and my wife have like a little bit of a difference there, but I think over the years she's gotten like a lot looser with it.
That's great. Yeah.
With like the experience of it all. But
yeah.
With me, I'm just like, they're not going to die.
Yeah.
They're not going to die. Let them live. Let them learn from their mistakes.
Yep.
Learn from the owies. Learn from, if they get in trouble, we will talk to them. We will, tell them what they did wrong.
Yep.
There's some caveats to that with like Nolan and his whole situation, but yeah, let kids be kids, man. And my parents like threw me outside and I wasn't allowed to come back for a certain amount of time. Well, that's when I wasn't grounded for most of my life. But like unshelter them.
Yeah.
It's very important. The experiences will grow them much thicker skin, much thicker feelings.
They're able
So
to
they don't
take
get
more and
hurt.
withstand
Yeah.
more. There's actually a great so the story of Buddha. I actually love the story of Buddha because Buddha was, and remember, this is his story, it's a metaphor, all that stuff. So he was 100 and something years old when he finally left his house. Right. He was kept sheltered forever and ever and ever by his father. And then Buddha left. And then Buddha experienced the world. And he started to, he opened himself up to the world. And the greatest see you, Wade. You leaving? Later, brother. So Buddha, his parents his father in particular had to let him go and experience life. And he experienced struggle, he experienced pain, he experienced all of the things. And it was that story is powerful from the perspective actually of the parent, because the parent, the unspoken character for most of that story, is the struggle of the parent watching their kid struggle and go through things.
Mm.
And you have to let your kid do that. You have to let your kid fail and get hurt and experience the realities of the world, because that is what true living is. And that's the story of what like the Buddha is. And learning how to stay calm inside of those scenarios is something that's one of the greatest journeys of every human being should try to experience and strive for, is to gracefully feel the pain, to gracefully feel the struggle of life. But like that's so important. Like there's a leash. When the baby's young, the baby's fully reliant on you to keep them alive, all that stuff. Then you got to let loose a little bit, let the kid explore, let loose a little bit more. And that's one of the biggest struggles for actually motherhood, where the mother, I want to protect my kid at all times, blah, blah, blah. And then the father, which is really important for that dynamic. The father's like, especially for boys, I'm going to play rough with my kid. I'm going to rough him up. I'm going to hurt him a little bit. Like he's got to learn, like he's got to get tough. And it's hard for the mother to watch that. It's hard for her because she doesn't want her baby to be hurt. Right. And that's real, right? That's the struggle.
It's the opposite of my house.
But
my wife fucks them up.
Yeah. Well, still, but going back, you were actually bringing up how Claire,
yeah.
Like it's very relevant because she wants to protect her babies
In a joking way.
Yeah.
By the way,
Claire's
she wrestles with
wonderful,
them and stuff.
right? Rocco's wonderful with they're great. Literally great parents actually, and a great family. But that is a struggle. That's hard. That's difficult, but that is the mother experience, right? Like that is it. And I feel like the mother experience in some ways, just through reading and stuff, I feel like the mother experience is a little bit more difficult than even the father experience. And I'm not just talking about growing the baby. That's like fucking a miracle and like crazy and like, wow, that's so amazing. Women are crazy amazing. But that struggle consistently through their lives of watching their babies become young men or young women. And that's got to be so difficult, and the changes that come with it. And
she's struggling a lot with this being our last child.
Yeah.
With me, being clipped and us agreeing that it's going to be our last one, and how fast Remy's growing up and everything. So she's definitely struggling with the first signaling, the last of whatever isn't going to happen anymore. Her relying on certain things less is definitely like a struggle knowing it's the last one. But yeah, still monitor and know what's going on in their lives to a point. Juveniles nowadays are getting it worse and worse. Yeah, that's not the kid's fault. That's the parents' fault.
Yeah,
because there's a flip side to that. With what I was saying,
I actually agree.
Let them go and let them be kids and everything. But when I said when they fuck up, you have to parent them. When they fall and get boo-boos, you teach them. But the teaching isn't just for boo-boos. It's when they fuck up, you parent them. When they do bad things, you scold them or you teach them right from wrong. And if you're not doing it effectively, they're going to go out and do whatever the fuck they want. And that's why juveniles are pieces of shit, because their parents are pieces of shit.
Well, all right. So I want to put a little caveat on a lot of that.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So the juveniles getting worse and worse, whatever, like that. Old people, we can say that, right? But here's something that's actually going back to the narrative that's being pushed. There's this quote, I think Jordan Peterson said it, where it's like, if you're afraid of like a dangerous man, just wait till you meet a weak man and like the harm that a weak man can cause. I feel like we're actually growing a generation of weak. I'm just going to focus on men real quick, of weak men, where they're so hyper focused on feelings, and so hyper focused on the way people look at them, and so focused on the injuries and it hurts and all those things. And instead of being like, I'm going to get through this, I'm going to be better than that, I'm going to continue to improve, I'm going to learn to withstand this pain, I'm going to all of those things that you have to push forward like that. I feel like there's actually, it's not just the parents that are being, that there might be poor parenting. There actually might be great parents that are being told that they're shitty because they're actually telling their kids to be tougher, to be stronger, to be harder, right? And then they're the ones that are being shit on, right? That's actually something I feel like the generation has no, they feel like they are above others, and like because like I'm special, I have these issues, I have these problems, and it's I don't think it's their fault actually fully, but it's their fault that they continue to be that way as they become adults. But it's absolutely on us as the older people in our society that have to be better. We have to, the narratives that are out there now have to change. There is this too much of the coddling, too much of the focus on the, I now know, I just learned that they're calling kids with ADHD, uh, kids that have disabilities. What? I have my ADHD is so bad. I get I take my shirt off because I can't feel things. I'm burning chicken. I'm not disabled. I just have these things I got to fucking work with. Like it's crazy the accommodations that we're giving people, especially to young kids, and it's not their fault. That's what I'm trying to say.
So it's
Like-
it's a as okay. I kind of want to agree with you, and I kind of don't.
So let's hit it because I'm down for this.
So Nolan has extreme ADHD,
Same.
and I'm watching it, and it's going to be a lot harder for him to handle than you to handle because he's still
Why
learning.
is that?
Because he's still learning the world. He's still trying to learn.
I was a kid once.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But just because you didn't get a diagnosis of a disease, of it being a disease or not.
I did get a
And
diagnosis.
okay, no. I'm saying just because it wasn't considered as a disease or whatever.
Disability.
Disability.
My parents told me it's not a disability.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever they're calling it, that the fact that they're treating it is
How are they treating it?
he's got 2 different types of therapists that come and see him and talk to him. And then he's got some medicine.
So what you're doing right now, I just want to take a pause.
Mhm.
You're taking personal offense right now to what I just said.
No, I don't have any offense.
Okay.
No.
There's nowhere in my heart and soul. I just want to make this clear.
Yeah.
That is coming at you or Claire or anything like that.
No. I know. No. I'm just saying
whether the kid has those disabilities, or they call it disabilities now, or not, and they have therapists that are coming. My question is, what are they saying to him? Because here's what one of my friends called me up the other day. Like, my son has ADHD and like this, that, and the other. I talked to my guidance counselor, said he has a disability. This should be accommodating him for how he's acting, how he's doing. I was like, fucking what? Like, they're treating him differently and like giving him more leverage and more room. No, accountability has to be brought into the factor. If he is absolutely going off the handle in class and things like that, he must at a young age learn to handle his emotions. And it's difficult, and there needs to be grace given and understanding given from the parents and the teachers and things like that, of course, like they did with me. But as soon as you start treating that kid differently, that kid's going to believe that for the rest of his life, right? And it's not a ADHD is also this amazing gift. When
Yes.
you are able to learn how to control your emotions,
I think that's the way that they're getting
that
it.
is a gift.
So
right?
right now what they're saying is that
They have to be held accountable. Yes.
he is extremely intelligent, and if we get behind it right
Mhm.
now, that basically we've got something on our head. The therapist had us go away, and he's like, I thought I was having a conversation with like a 13 to 15-year-old boy.
Right.
And he's like, you can't push him ahead in his grade because
Mhm.
Nolan wants to go up a grade.
Mhm.
He said he's bored with his work. That's why he's not doing it.
It's awesome.
And I don't
Awesome
want
and
him to
terrible.
do that
Yeah.
because I don't want him to skip ahead in like playfulness and being a child. So
Okay.
so he said he understands that. He said, and he agrees with it. He said have him do school and everything, but introduce like 5th grade work to him. And he's in 2nd grade.
Mhm.
He's like introduce 5th grade
Totally
work
agree
here
with
and
that.
there. And he said if you keep up on it, you're gonna. He said you're gonna have something truly special in your head. So they're not treating it like some like negative thing. They're just trying to navigate it so that he can use it, and that so that we can navigate it and understand it.
Yeah. So I've been mentoring a 12-year-old in software development now with this other guy, Chris, for about, I forget how many months now. It's almost a year at this point. Her name is, I don't want to say her name, actually. She's young,
Minor,
but like
yeah.
she's a minor. And we've been mentoring her, and she's actually building the Project Refit Blue Skies app right now.
Oh,
Like
cool.
we've been taking her through that whole process, all that stuff. And she's gonna be done college by the time she's 17 years old.
Shoo.
Right. And she's homeschooled and all that stuff. And like, it's fantastic. I literally love being a part of her life and being one of her mentors and teachers and helping her. It is absolutely amazing. And I feel so fulfilled when she's getting excited about things and doing things and learning things. And we are letting her read and learn and fail and just guide her along. It's literally the coolest shit ever. And I
Yeah.
love it. And like, I feel like her parents thank me and thank Chris. I'm like, guys, you're giving me an opportunity to help her be great. And I'm grateful that I get to do this and I get to be a part of her life.
Mhm.
Right. And going back to it, kids who struggle with like ADHD and those things, it's good that, you know, you have a therapist that is working with you to work with him in a way that pushes him forward.
Yeah.
I literally cannot stand, and I will always stand by this, that it's called a disability. I can't do that because I think this constant narrative of so many people have all of these disabilities, because there's something to now the insurance companies, you can bill the insurance company because you put a name on it.
Sure.
And now you have this disability and this is you for the rest of your life. You're going to have this, right? That to me is there's something very wrong about it.
Mhm.
Like we
could
are
see that.
giving kids these scapegoats, and we're giving veterans scapegoats to not move their lives forward after service with disabilities. And it's across the board. It's not just veterans, it's not just kids, it's across the board in America. And we talk about this mental health crisis and all these things. People don't believe in themselves. Men aren't men anymore. All this shit that people say. That's an opportunity for us, I think, for people like you and I and others to begin to say, hey, wait a second. That's not true. That's not true. You are capable. You are strong. Look at your past. This is not new. ADHD is not new. It's not. Like that was a thing so many men in particular, I feel like have. I actually think there's statistics to back it up. I think men in general men are more prone to having ADHD than women. And there's something about it where we can feel danger sometimes. We can read people really well. We because it was survival that we went through for so many years, and we're really good at working out. We have all of that energy to put into. When I work out, I love working out so hard. I look like a fucking psychopath. I literally go from meditating, stretching. No joke. I am meditating and stretching upstairs. I look crazy there, and then I just work out like a fucking animal. And I get and I'm like, I'm nuts. And I get all of the energy out and I feel so good. And I feel calm and centered. I literally feel as if the way to treat ADHD super effectively is through teaching kids how to work out, getting kids in play time, giving them play time. Like that's what my parents did that with me. If I didn't wrestle that morning or if I didn't work out that morning, my dad had me doing push-ups, 50 push-ups every night when I was 3 years old. Started at 3. I love the fact that they instilled those things in me because it also taught me as I got older. I was like, I feel weird. I got to do push-ups. And like, I start doing fucking push-ups and or I start working out and like, it's like, I'm crazy, but like, I'm not crazy. That's how you control your energy and your mind and allows me to then focus on reading a book. And I have dyslexia. I can hardly fucking read. I tried taking an LSAT when I was 23. I could hardly read the fucking tests. I was a near 4.0 GPA student at Columbia University while medicated, and I still could not take a fucking LSAT because I literally, it was so bad because my dyslexia is that bad, right? I had to adjust. I had to learn what can I actually do, right? There's so many excuses in the world to just give yourself, to lie to yourself. And I don't think we're doing any benefits to our young generation by giving them those excuses at such a young age to buy into these tribal thoughts of, oh, this is my victim, this is my disability, this is my thing, and I can't do these things because of that, because that's what I was told. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck it. That's why another thing I actually love a wrestler and a fighter's mentality. I love the mentality of those people because it is actually a warrior's mindset. I am going to push myself further. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to be better. I have to do this. I have to push myself because if I don't, I will die.
Yeah.
Men in particular, this is also a narrative that can fit women for fuck's sake. But for men in particular, genuinely, I think we're weakening men. We're giving men scapegoats too often. And I don't think it is appropriate or right. I don't.
Or healthy.
I don't think it's healthy either. I don't. And these are for some reason, these are things that to some people, if they see this or they listen to this or they see the clips that we're going to release and shit, will think that that's heartless and that's not good and that's not right. I think the exact opposite. I think me telling another man that he can push himself harder, he can push himself better, he can push beyond whatever pain, no matter what happened to them in their lives, they can get better. I think that's right. And I think it's evil not to do that. Ugh. Gosh, man, pain and suffering is the ink to the pen that writes the story of our lives. That's what it is, dude. Use the pain
Challenge coins.
That's it, dude. And I keep those right there. I'm waiting for the next person. I actually think I know who I'm going to give another one to. I'm treating those very special, by the way. I'm not kidding.
They're supposed to be.
I know. And I really am abiding by that.
Okay.
So I really appreciated that gift that you gave me. That was very nice. So, and I love you.
Merry Christmas.
I love you.
Merry Christmas.
You know that?
Merry Chrysler.
I love you. But yeah, man, I'm super fucking passionate about that.
No, I agree.
God, what a rant. Crazy. Holy shit. It's 1 hour and 17 minutes we've been into this. Whew. What are you thinking?
What do you mean? What am I thinking?
Yeah, what are you thinking? Not just right now. What are you thinking?
I was actually thinking of, I wasn't going to mention it because I don't remember the guy's name. But it was a video that came out and it might have been from like a show or something like that, but it was a video and he was up on a stage and he's like, I miss when, he was talking about America in general, but he's like, I miss when men were men. He's like, I miss when, you know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah.
I watch it like,
oh my God, what is his name?
I forget. Oh my God.
It was from a show, by the way.
Yeah. I'm gonna search it up and we'll play the audio if anybody wants to hear it. But it's a great speech.
We'll pull it up on here. We'll share the screen and stuff. I do want to say this too. I do see. One thing I actually really like that we are doing as a society, is I think men have this ability. I think we actually have this really great opportunity for men. I think we have pushed this narrative for men to be more understanding, to be more empathetic, and to be more to be better servant leaders, actually, and to lean into being supportive to their wives, to the women in their lives. And I think that's a really beautiful thing, but that takes incredible amounts of self-discipline, of control, emotional control, and respect. And I just said it actually to one of my really, really close friends last night, and Lisa was right next to me. And I was like, dude, I know Lisa loves me. I love Lisa. But the thing that she gives me more than anything else is respect. And that's all I actually care about. if she for some reason started to like wane in love or whatever, and she still respected me, that means we can still work on something. Yeah. Yep. I will share that right now. We can pull that up.
Get
But
that
that's
audio
something that I
in.
think is super important. And I think we do have this, opportunity to here, go ahead and type it in. We do have this opportunity to make the male and the experience just better. And I really do. And I think it goes from a place where we once were, where we were maybe a little too harsh or whatever. Cause I can still tell a motherfucker the truth, right?
Oh,
I,
like that.
but I also will do it in a way that doesn't demean or talk down on that person. And I think that is a gift that I have, and I'm very grateful that I have it. But I think it's also a thing that I hope more people can buy into and believe themselves that they can do it too. I just we're m- we're genuinely weakening, making more weak the male, and I don't like it. I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think it's right. Men are kingdom builders. Whether you are the warrior, whether you are the actual physical builder, whether you are the planner, whether you are the leader that is leading the building itself, we're builders.
Yeah.
And we are creators. And the greatest creator, the one that we must protect, is the woman. And I really think that's honorable. That's not sexist. That's not saying women are just children bearers. First off, what a gift and what a miracle that is. That's so special. Why talk down on that anyway? But number two, it's such an amazing thing for us to be able to help protect that. And I think the new age male has to be a mental and a physical protector. That is the generation that we must be moving towards, and the way that we must be moving towards, because the woman is amazing. The female species is just the fact that you can grow humans and provide life and grow life is just a miracle. I don't even know what else to say other than that. And there's nothing wrong with a man who wants to withstand the hardships of life to protect that. And I think we need to get back to that.
And I don't think uh
I'm not.
I don't want to say, right, like, yes, absolutely, men need to be men. Men are supposed to be the physically strong protectors, the kingdom builders. Women, I do want to say, have much more than, you know creating life.
Bro, I know.
No, I know.
Like,
I just wanted to add that a
I did
man's
say that.
strength. I know. I just want to add, a man's strength is probably the equivalent to a woman's mental strength. And I equate that. And I think about that all the time, is that we will never be equals in physical strength, but I don't think as a whole, right, we will ever be as mentally or emotionally tough as women as a whole. There's going to be exceptions. There's going to be
I
people that train
I can't
themselves to
help but
be.
disagree entirely.
I don't think so.
I think that the ability, I think it's different. I think the emotional strength is a different type of emotional strength. I think that in general, women, I think, are absolutely smarter in many ways than we are. But I think that the emotional strength side of things, I think men are insanely emotional human beings.
Sure.
And track this. You have to be insanely emotionally strong to be able to going back to our ancestors, the hunting, the fighting, the emotion it takes to take another person's life or to fight is absolutely immense.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely different than the emotional strength it takes and the intelligence it takes to grow a mind, like women are so good at with babies and children and things like that. And they are absolutely more organized than us as well. And there's all of those things come from a past of making sure that things are in place to make sure that the house itself was, and no, not women aren't just stricken to the house. Don't fucking take my words and switch it. But like, women absolutely were critical and are critical to society and to the growth and to the movement forward of species, of the human species. And I think that the narrative that we push for, and the reason that we're, even that there's this little like, ooh, I don't want to say that, men are also just as critical. And men are able to be as equal in a different fashion emotionally as women. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I just think in a broader sense, in total, I do think there's emotionally weak men and mentally weak men.
I think too many of them are right now.
I think it's way too many.
Right. Because we're telling them that they're so the anger, right? Men are just with testosterone coming out, things like that, learning how to control that, learning how to harness that, learning how to use that energy to push it forward in a positive way. Like, if you don't teach a kid how to withstand that anger, that is going to be that's going to turn into a weak man who becomes insanely dangerous, right? Like that is, and why is that insanely dangerous? Because it's not a tempered man, and men can absolutely burn worlds. Like that is the reality of things.
Yep.
And that's because it's a kingdom. It's either you're going to be a kingdom builder or a kingdom destroyer. Like that is, and that's very powerful for the physical world, right? Like that is very, very powerful. And that's, again, if we don't, as a society, begin to change that narrative and switch it over to, you are more capable than what you know, then we are going to continue to slip, and it's going to cause a lot of harm.
Yes.
A lot of it.
I agree.
Here's the video.
All right. This is like a 4-minute and 48-second video. I'm gonna bounce after this because I gotta pick my kid up. This will be a good way to wrap it up. So enjoy.
Let's move on to the next question. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jenny. I'm a sophomore, and this is for all three of you. Can you say in one sentence or less what? You know what I mean. Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
Diversity and opportunity.
Lewis?
Freedom and freedom. So let's keep it that way.
Will?
The New York Jets.
No, I'm going to hold you to an answer on that. What makes America the greatest country in the world?
Well, Lewis and Sharon said it. Diversity, opportunity, and freedom and freedom.
I'm not letting you go back to the airport without answering the question.
Well, our Constitution is a masterpiece. James Madison was a genius. The Declaration of Independence is, for me, the single greatest piece of American writing.
Yes, it is.
You don't look satisfied.
One's a set of laws and the other's a declaration of war. I want a human moment from you. What about the people? Why is America
Not the greatest country in the world, Professor. That's my answer.
You're saying...
Yes.
Let's talk about...
Fine. Sharon, the NEA is a loser. Yeah, it accounts for a penny out of our paycheck, but he gets to hit you with it anytime he wants. It doesn't cost money. It costs votes. It costs airtime and column inches. You know why people don't like liberals? Because they lose. If liberals are so fucking smart, how come they lose so goddamn always?
Hey.
And with a straight face, you're going to tell students that America is so star-spangled awesome that we're the only ones in the world who have freedom?
Canada has freedom. Japan has freedom.
The UK, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Australia, Belgium has freedom. So 207 sovereign states in the world, like 180 of them have freedom.
All right.
And yeah, you, sorority girl, just in case you accidentally wander into a voting booth one day, there's some things you should know. And one of them is, there is absolutely no evidence to support the statement that we're the greatest country in the world. We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy, 178th in infant mortality, 3rd in median household income, number 4 in labor force, and number 4 in exports. We lead the world in only 3 categories: number of incarcerated citizens per capita, number of adults who believe angels are real, and defense spending, where we spend more than the next 26 countries combined, 25 of whom are allies. Now, none of this is the fault of a 20-year-old college student, but you nonetheless are, without a doubt, a member of the worst generation ever. So when you ask what makes us the greatest country in the world, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yosemite? Sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We passed laws, struck down laws for moral reasons. We waged wars on poverty, not poor people. We sacrificed. We cared about our neighbors. We put our money where our mouths were, and we never beat our chest. We built great big things, made ungodly technological advances, explored the universe, cured diseases, and we cultivated the world's greatest artists and the world's greatest economy. We reached for the stars, acted like men. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed by great men who were revered. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one. America is not the greatest country in the world anymore. Enough?
I also, something comes up that's really important to note. When he begins to speak about all the things that were built and all that stuff and how they were informed, if you go back and you read poems, or I'm sorry, letters from guys on the front line during World War II, World War I, and even going back to the Civil War, young men, 17 years old to whatever, we talk about them being illiterate and all these things, and it couldn't be further from the truth. They were writing like fucking poems to their parents. They're writing poems to their loved ones. They were writing incredible masterpieces. That's why people love reading
in beautiful
through.
cursive.
Right. They were literate. They were smart. They were not lesser than. And to what Wade said, no one is special. And we have developed this like, we are special mentality. We need to be humble and recognize that we can be better always. And there are rights and wrongs. It is a good thing to fight for what is right. And sometimes what you think is right might not be what someone else thinks is right. Right? Like, I know for a fact there are some things that I could say that would really piss people off. But I know some people will be like, well, I know that guy. And I know he's saying that from a place of like, love yourself again. To look at who you are as a person, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and if you hate yourself, I feel for you, because you shouldn't, right? You came from great people. Our species in the time that we are in now, you are greater than you think. It doesn't mean you're special. It means that you can do more. It means you can be more. It doesn't mean you're better than or lesser than anyone else. That's something that when it comes to that document, he said is the greatest document ever written, the American Constitution, I genuinely believe is one of the greatest documents ever written. The Bill of Rights, the First Amendment in particular, the freedom of thought, the freedom of speech, which is the freedom of thought, by the way, because our words are thoughts and our thoughts are words. There's no difference. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that a person who's struggling to love themselves and gives themselves scapegoats to reduce themselves is a fucking crime, and it's evil, and it's not right. And that's where we are right now. And that's the narrative that we keep on pushing to people, and I don't think it's right.
It's not.
And I think I see so many guys, so many veterans in particular, and first responders who struggle with that. They feel victimized by the world around them, and they can be the very change in the world that they want to see. The big fucking hearts that you had to be able to go and serve, that they have to be able to continue to serve every day. If you're an EMT, a police officer, a firefighter, any other type of first responder, you're doing it because you care, you have a bleeding heart, and you are full of emotion that you want to give and dump back into the society and the community around you. And that's beautiful. And it's strong. That's the narrative. That's the one that needs to be pushed. And I'm sick and fucking tired of watching people not believe in themselves when I'm looking at greatness in front of my eyes. Getting super emotional about it right now. Because I fucking mean it. It actually, that's something that weighs on my heart so much. And I talk to Lisa about it a lot, where it's just like, I talk to these dudes, like these men who've, some of them have done horrific things, but they did it so that they can protect the very fucking soil that we live in, and others who get to witness and get to witness the horrific things on our behalf, because they put themselves out there to do that. It's because you're capable of it. And we are grateful, and we should be grateful for that. And you are capable. You are more capable than you even fucking know.
Yeah. I think it's an it's an unknown thing. They just don't have knowledge of that world. I don't hold it against them. It's just something that they need to know about so they don't squander the freedoms that they have,
or the life that they get to live.
Yeah.
We look at the struggles and we look at the problems all wrong. You're not a victim. You're able to overcome, and you're able to solve the problems. You are able to do it. What's that?
Squander.
Yeah, don't squander the opportunities.
Squander is a great word.
Don't squander the actual struggles that you have. These are not things to just hide under a rock around. It's something to step up and solve. And you can. No one is less. We're all equal, and we can make it happen. Thanks, Claire. Yeah. That's it. Appreciate you all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Can't wait to get called a sexist. It's not true, but here we are.
Don't go back and watch the first 5 minutes of the stream.